Torah tells us that we don't allow the people to decide for themselves which is the best way to go, because the people will always go the convenient way, whatever's convenient for them, because people basically are concerned mostly about themselves. So I'll vote what's convenient for me. Whoever's going to supply better jobs, a better standard of living, you know, in the back of my mind somewhere amongst those priorities may come the idea of nationalism and a Jewish state. But first of all, I'm concerned with myself. So the Torah, God gave us the Torah not to allow people to make their own decisions, but to bend themselves to conform to God's standard, which is the idea of a king. The king is supposed to make the people, coerce the people to accept the proper way. So the only real form of government by the Jewish people is some form of dictatorship.
If we want to understand Rabbi Kahana, his message was that we need to go to war because, in fact, what will bring our redemption is not prayer. What will bring redemption is war. But today we're going in exactly the opposite direction. Instead of war, there's peace now. There's an attempt to prevent war at all costs. And if we can force the army to go back to being offensive, an army of revenge, an army which cares about Jews more than anybody else, then we'll be able to bring the final redemption in the only way possible, through war. War now.
The whole thing boils down to one thing and one thing only, which is called the Temple Mount, Har Habayit. The Am HaChamor, the nation of donkeys that's sitting there, they understand that it's getting, it's coming to a boiling. What do you call it?
Coming to a boil.
It's coming to a boil. Things are getting hot, and Jews are starting to wake up more and more. Are going up there and are connecting as politicians. It's becoming a big issue. Not one day that goes by that the press don't talk about it. And so they feel it. They feel it that the ground is rumbling under their feet, and that's why they're reacting the way they are. So all of the things that the government, the police, everybody's trying to do to calm things down, that's not what we want. We don't want anything to calm down here. It's the opposite. It's the place that's coming back to us. But it's not going to come back to us. No one's going to hand it to us on a silver platter.
We have to get it.
It's something that we have to get.
How do we show our faith in Hashem? How do we sanctify His name and show our faith? Begirush Aravim, expelling the Arabs. V'tihor Har Habayit, removing the mosques from the Temple Mount. Right? If you really believe in Hashem, that's what you have to do. Bezrat Hashem, one day it'll be even better. It'll be the way it should be. That vengeance, like Rav Kahana spoke about, taught us, vengeance, there's no end to it. It's Hashem's way of vengeance. And everything, I think Shmulik said before when we were up in the park, everything's written down, everything's remembered, payback time will come. There's also the war of what's called Rashut, Milchemet Rashut, the war, a permitted war, that the whole purpose of the war is not self-defense and it's not to destroy evil, but it's to conquer land outside the land of Israel for the sake of economic reasons, because the king wants to have more land, wants to be a greater king. And there's basically what we would call today imperialism. Imperialism, which is a dirty word by many people, is a concept that is accepted in the Torah when we have a king and we have a temple and we have a Sanhedrin